Mhm.
It's on.
Just about. Okay, we are live. So we welcome everyone from Facebook joining us as well for Havdalah with a bonus. And I want to wish everyone a happy new year as we're here on January 1st and turn things over to Rachel.
This is a story, and I'm probably going to do a few from a book that I actually am going to review from the paper sometime, hopefully in January. It is part of a collection of folk tales that are from the Israel Folktale Archive, and they're pretty simple, so I am going to be embellishing them a little bit because that's part of the fun. And this one is a tale that was originally told by someone from Poland. So there was a Jewish man whose wife traveled for long periods of time, sometimes 3 or 4 months she was overseas, and he would eat in restaurants because he didn't want to cook. So he would try all different kinds of restaurants all over the city, eat all different kinds of food. So one day he goes into a restaurant that's sort of like a diner, and he asks the waiter, maybe you have some soup from yesterday, something that's a little sour in a plate that's stained with like sooty fingerprints. Waiter is kind of puzzled, but okay, they want to help whoever comes into the restaurant. So he goes into the cook and says, do we have some soup that's sour? I mean, I can stain a plate, I can go, get some soup, but sour soup? The cook says, oh yeah, well, we have some soup left over from yesterday, so that should be fine. I was going to leave it for the dog because no one comes into the restaurant would want to eat it, but sure, if that's what the man wants. So the waiter said, good, prepare a serving, and the cook took some ladle and put some soup in the bowl and took some soot from under the pots. And they took it out and he gave it to the Jewish man who was sitting in the restaurant. And the man ate it and said, oh, that's tasty, so tasty, it's good, wonderful, thank you. Then the man said, for my second course, could you bring me some meat? I would like the meat to smell a little bit and be burnt on the top with maybe a little bit of hair floating in the gravy. So the waiter is, again, really puzzled, but goes into the kitchen and says, what in that case? But he's a customer. We want to make him fit. Can you do this? And the cook said, well, over there is some meat that was kind of starting to go bad. So I left it for the dogs and the cats. And since it's summer, it already starts to smell. Sure, if that's what he wants. So the waiter took some, pulled some hair from the female cook and placed it on it and put it on the fire so it would burn a little bit and brought it to the man sitting in the restaurant. The man eats the meat and says, wonderful. Could you bring me some compote? Fruit compote, I want it sour though, like vinegar. So the waiter, again, thinks this is nuts, but what can he do? So he goes into the kitchen, he takes the compote, he pours some vinegar on it so it'll sour it and put some lemon, squeezing and brought it out to the man. So the Jewish man finished eating and said, oh, that was such a wonderful meal. Thank you. How much do I owe you? The waiter says, I'll tell you the truth. For a good lunch, we charge $20, but I have no idea how to calculate this because no one else has ever wanted the kind of food that you've had. So give me as much as you think. And the Jewish man said, no. And he took out the $20 and gave it to the waiter and added a few more dollars for a tip. And the waiter says, sir, can I ask you a question? And the man said, yes. He says, look, at first I thought maybe you didn't have any money and we're trying to get some old food so you wouldn't have to charge it, we'll pay for it, or that you would, be a miser who didn't want to pay for his food. But with that money, you could have bought yourself a really nice lunch, a French tasty lunch. Why did you do this? The man said, my wife has been overseas for a couple months. And I was craving a really good home-cooked meal, a meal just like this one. So this was the food that my wife would have served me at home. So I'm so happy that I was able to have a meal like this. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, that was a little bit silly. I laughed. I'm not going to give you the author's commentary, which takes away some of the fun stuff because the author is analyzing all the tales and what they tell about social ideas and things. And it was like, I just liked enjoying the tale. For when I write the review, I'll write about the commentary. You can hear about some of that then, whether or not I write about this story or the other one. So that's our story for tonight.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you. And let's see. I'll move the spotlight, and we will get ready to move to Havdalah. So I have the
Rabbi, we can't hear you.
I think
my
you're muted.
apologies. Now
There you go.
I got it. Okay, so I have the blessings already in the chat, and I'm going to put the other songs there as well for Havdalah. And then we'll be ready. So hopefully you have your candles, if you're going to be using them, spices or something to smell, to savor Shabbat into the week, and some juice or wine or something for the blessing as well. So if you don't have all the parts, do whatever parts you have. And of course, we share the candle so you can all see the flame. And I'm going to light the candle first. I'm going to try to light the candle first. There we go. Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen borei peri hagafen. Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei minei v'samim. Borei minei v'samim. Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei me'orei ha'esh borei me'orei ha'esh. We were talking at the beginning that while the temperatures might be warm outside, it seems to be getting chilly. So the warmth of the candle feels nice. The blessing for Havdalah itself, for the separation of Shabbat from the rest of the week and the holy from the profane. Ya la 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 la, Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamavdil ben kodesh lechol hamavdil ben kodesh lechol ben yom hashvi'i לששת ימי המעשה. ברוך אתה אדוני המבדיל בין קודש לחול. We take another moment to savor Shabbat for another few moments before we then put our candles out in our wine or juice. Eliyahu Hanavi, Eliyahu Hatishbi, Eliyahu, Eliyahu, Eliyahu Hagiladi, Bimera v'yamenu, Yavo Eleinu, Imashiach ben David, Imashiach ben David. Eliyahu Hanavi, Eliyahu Hatishbi, Eliyahu, Eliyahu, Eliyahu Hagiladi. I invite you all to unmute, join in wishing everyone a good week. Yom Kippur, we did Shana Tova as well, but I think we can do Shavua Tov, and not just Shana Tova, but Shavua Tov to start with. Shavua Tov,
Shavua
Tov,
Shavua
Tov,
Shavua Tov,
Shavua
Shavua
Tov,
Tov,
Shavua Tov,
Shavua
Shavua
Tov.
Tov, Shavua
A
Tov.
good week,
Good
a week
week,
of
a
peace,
week of
gladness,
peace,
rain, joy, and
and
grace. A
a
good
good
week,
a
of
week of
peace,
peace. May
gladness,
gladness
rain, and
reign and
joy.
joy increase.
I would say we should do Shana Tova as well. We did it for 5782. Why not do it for 2022 as well? Shana Tova, Shana
Shana
Tova,
Tova,
Shana
Shana
Tova,
Tova,
Shana
Shana
Tova,
Tova, Shana
Tova,
Tova, Shana
Shana
Tova, Shana
Tova,
Tova, Shana
a good
Good
year,
year,
a
a
year of
year of
peace,
peace,
a year
gladness,
of
gladness,
peace,
rain, and
and
joy
joy
increase.
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 A
A
good
good
year,
year,
a
a
year
year
of
of
peace,
peace.
may
May
gladness,
gladness
Gladness
reign
reign
rain, and
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 joy
joy
increase.
increase.
Shabbat Tov and Shana Tova.
Shana Tova.
Shana
Tova.
So we wish to everyone on Facebook all the wishes for the new week and the new year, and we'll see you next week.